Beneath the sands of Egypt, in a shadowy necropolis hidden just beyond the reach of Cairo's chaos, lie 24 massive granite boxes. So large, so precise, and so anomalous that even the most seasoned archaeologists are left speechless. Weighing up to 100 tons each and carved from some of the hardest stone on Earth, these ancient monoliths have sparked a debate that crosses the lines of history, engineering, and even the boundaries of our known science. Were they tombs, machines, or relics of a civilization lost to time? Today we journey deep into the ancient Serapeum of Saqqara, where the mystery of the granite boxes continues to defy explanation. And what we'll uncover challenges everything we thought we knew about the capabilities of ancient Egypt.
Why would the ancient Egyptians carve 100-ton granite boxes and bury them underground in pitch-black tunnels? The Serapeum is a vast, subterranean complex dating back over 3,000 years. It was rediscovered in the 19th century by French Egyptologist Auguste Mariette, who stumbled upon a partially buried sphinx that led him to an underground world of vaulted chambers and tunnels. Inside were dozens of massive sarcophagus-like boxes, each housed in its own niche, some sealed and others open, revealing a haunting emptiness. Constructed from precision-cut granite and basalt, materials that rival diamond in hardness, these boxes weren't just heavy, they were machined with tolerances of less than a millimeter. Tool marks, sharp corners, and perfectly flat surfaces suggest a level of craftsmanship far beyond what was believed possible for the time. So why go to such effort? Egyptologists say these were sarcophagi for the Apis bulls, sacred animals mummified and buried with honors. But the dimensions, quality, and difficulty of the engineering suggest something far more complex. If these were tombs, why are many of them empty? And why such over-engineered perfection for cattle? Some of these boxes are too large to fit through the tunnels, so how did they get there? The logistics are baffling. Each granite box weighs between 60 to 100 tons, yet the tunnels that house them are narrow, winding, and chiseled directly into bedrock. If the boxes were made elsewhere, how were they transported? And if they were carved in place, how did workers manage it in near total darkness, without evidence of soot or advanced lighting? To this day, no one has reproduced the same kind of precision cutting using tools known to have existed in ancient Egypt. Modern engineers suggest that only diamond-tipped drills or advanced saws, absent in the historical record, could replicate these results. Even with today's machinery, maneuvering a 100-ton block underground without breaking it is a logistical nightmare. Could we be looking at lost ancient technologies, or even evidence of knowledge passed down from a civilization predating the Egyptians themselves? What if these boxes weren't just meant to house something, but to do something? Some researchers believe the granite boxes may have had an acoustic or energetic purpose. When struck, they produce a deep, resonant hum, almost like a tuning fork. The precision and density of the stone allows it to vibrate at specific frequencies. Could the ancient builders have used sound as a form of resonance, perhaps for ritualistic or unknown technological purposes? Interestingly, the Serapeum itself seems to amplify this acoustic effect. Sound reverberates through the narrow halls, creating a disorienting echo chamber that seems intentional. Some fringe theorists even suggest that the boxes were part of an ancient energy system, akin to piezoelectric generators or harmonic resonance chambers. While these ideas sit far outside mainstream archaeology, they raise a tantalizing question. What if the Egyptians, or those who came before, understood sound and energy in ways we are only beginning to explore? What if the boxes are older than the pharaohs themselves? While the Serapeum is officially dated to the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses II, around 1250 BCE, the actual boxes may be much older. Some scholars argue that the quality and scale of the boxes don't match the rest of the site, suggesting they were repurposed or inherited by later dynasties. Weathering patterns and stylistic differences imply that the granite containers may have been built during an earlier, more advanced period, possibly even before the dynastic Egyptians. This aligns with theories of a forgotten pre-cataclysmic civilization that possessed advanced knowledge, later lost in a global upheaval. If true, these boxes could be among the last remnants of that lost chapter in human history. Despite decades of study, no one has provided a definitive explanation, and perhaps that's what makes them so compelling. Mainstream archaeology holds to the theory of Apis bull tombs, but the lack of inscriptions, the technical overkill, and the empty chambers raise eyebrows. Some of the boxes have inscriptions, though often crude and likely added long after their construction. This suggests they were retrofitted, not originally intended for animal burials. The absence of hieroglyphs on most boxes is unusual for ancient Egyptian monuments, which were typically rich with religious and ceremonial text. Were these boxes sacred for another reason? Or were they never meant to be seen? The Serapeum's granite giants continue to whisper a story that doesn't quite fit into our current understanding of history. Whether tombs, resonators, or relics of a lost science, these massive boxes remain one of the most enigmatic archaeological finds on Earth. Their presence invites us to question the limits of ancient knowledge and reminds us that the past may still be holding secrets we're not ready or able to decode. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not the boxes themselves, but the silent intelligence behind their creation. If the mystery of Egypt's massive granite boxes left you stunned, just wait, because what scientists uncovered in India might be even more baffling. A colossal ancient structure built with engineering that defies logic is pushing the boundaries of what we thought ancient civilizations were capable of.
Nestled deep within the rugged landscape of Karnataka, India, a land already rich in ancient history and archaeological wonders, stands Maliabad Fort, a colossal enigma that throws into sharp relief the limitations of our current understanding of the past. While officially attributed to the 13th century Delhi Sultanate, a closer examination of this monumental structure reveals a narrative far more complex, more ancient, and potentially revolutionary. Maliabad Fort is not merely a medieval bastion. It's a palimpsest of history, with layers of occupation and construction that hint at a civilization lost to time. A civilization capable of feats of engineering that defy conventional explanations. Beneath the scorching Egyptian sun, a team of archaeologists squeezes through a freshly exposed crevice in the sand. Their footsteps echo in a darkness untouched for millennia. Dust swirls in the beam of a flashlight as it illuminates stone walls carved ages ago. In that moment, time melts away. A secret tunnel under Saqqara has been found, and it's anything but empty. The air is heavy with mystery and anticipation, as if the ancient necropolis is whispering its long-held secrets to those daring enough to listen.
Deep in the Saqqara Desert, long known as the City of the Dead, subterranean passages have always been part of its legend. In the 19th century, explorers discovered the Serapeum, a maze of tunnels housing colossal granite coffins for sacred bulls, each weighing up to 40 tons, lowered into place with ingenious engineering. That astounding feat was a reminder of the ancients' mastery over stone and sand. Yet even today, Saqqara still guards hidden wonders. Now, after thousands of years, this silent ground has yielded another astonishing find, a tunnel complex that lay concealed beneath the sands, preserving a snapshot of history in its depths. By torchlight, archaeologists reveal a labyrinth of interconnected tunnels and vertical shafts 60 feet below the surface. In total, 22 shafts had been expertly carved into the bedrock, each shaft a portal to the underworld. These shafts branch into corridors like spokes of a hidden wheel, forming a subterranean network sprawling beneath one of Egypt's oldest pyramids. It took incredible engineering to carve these passages in antiquity. The walls are smooth and the layout deliberate, designed to safeguard what lies within. Sealed by heavy stones and the sands of time, the tunnel remained hidden from looters and the outside world. As the excavators press forward, the narrow passage opens into chamber after chamber, and their lanterns reveal what the desert had kept secret for over 3,000 years. Inside the chambers, treasures and coffins begin to appear in the flickering light. The team's excitement grows as they realize the scale of the discovery. They uncover a massive limestone sarcophagus and 300 beautifully decorated coffins neatly arranged in the darkness. Each coffin is unique, painted with vibrant scenes and inscriptions that have remained astonishingly vivid. When the lids are carefully lifted, the astonishment only deepens. Mummies lie inside, perfectly preserved. Linen wrappings, faintly yellowed with age, still encase the bodies, and painted faces on the coffins stare back as if in eternal vigilance. Finding so many intact burials in one place is like stumbling into a time capsule from ancient Egypt's New Kingdom era, roughly 3,000 years ago. This tunnel was not a mere passage, it was a hidden necropolis, a secret mausoleum crowded with the dead. The mummies are in remarkable condition, skin, hair, and burial goods untouched by decay. This shows that mummification reached its peak in the New Kingdom, one archaeologist remarks. Indeed, the ancient embalmer's art is on full display. Some coffins were sealed with not one but two lids, a double layer of protection for the deceased. In one coffin, the excavation team gasps at the sight of a funerary mask crafted entirely of gold, still gleaming after all these centuries. It adorns the face of a woman who went to her grave adorned like a goddess. Such a discovery is exceptionally rare. A solid gold mask is a treasure usually reserved for the highest elites, hinting at the importance of those buried here. The halls of this tunnel have effectively become an underground gallery of ancient art and ritual, each mummy a storyteller from a bygone era. As the explorers venture further, their lights dance across objects placed lovingly beside the dead. These artifacts paint a picture of life and belief in ancient Egypt. There are small Shapti figurines, servant statues meant to do work for the dead in the afterlife, standing guard in the dust. A beautifully carved wooden game board of Senet emerges, its squares and pieces still intact. Perhaps the departed hoped to pass eternity with a favorite game at hand. In niches along the walls, statues of the god Ptah perch solemnly, placed to protect the tombs with divine presence. The archaeologists even find a warrior's touch, a metal axe clutched in the mummified hand of an ancient soldier, as if he were buried ready to defend this realm of the dead. In one corner, fragments of papyrus scrolls lie rolled and sealed. With careful handling, hieroglyphic texts become visible, possibly spells from the Book of the Dead, or prayers linking these souls to King Teti's cult. Every item is a clue, a thread connecting us to who these people were and what they cherished. Then comes another breathtaking revelation. Near the end of one tunnel, the team uncovers the base of a small pyramid buried in the sand, the final resting place of a long-lost royal. Inscriptions on the stone hint at an identity that has eluded historians until now. She was a queen named Neith, a name never seen in any record before. Archaeologists realize they are literally rewriting history. This mysterious queen, likely a wife of the pharaoh Teti from 4,300 years ago, had been forgotten by time until this moment. Her pyramid and an adjoining funerary temple lie in ruins, but enough remains to celebrate her memory. An inscription on a weathered obelisk fragment proclaims her name and divine lineage, confirming that Queen Neith was daughter of Geb, an ancient creator god. The discovery of Queen Neith's burial adding a new queen to Egypt's royal lists, sends a thrill through the archaeological world. It's a powerful reminder that even in one of the most studied places on Earth, history can still surprise us with a new chapter. As this chapter of the Saqqara mystery concludes, one can only marvel at the convergence of engineering and artistry beneath the desert floor, and wonder what will surface next. From the shadows of a hidden Egyptian tunnel to the green depths of another continent, the allure of the unknown beckons us onward. Up next, we leave the sands of Saqqara for the heart of the jungle. In our next story, we venture into a tunnel carved not by pharaohs, but perhaps by forces even more mysterious. Stay tuned as we journey from an ancient civilization's secrets to a primeval labyrinth in the Amazon, where a new mystery awaits, defying explanation and begging to be explored.
The Serapeum of Saqqara is located in the vast Saqqara necropolis, an ancient burial ground about 30 kilometers south of modern-day Cairo, Egypt. This necropolis is renowned for its numerous pyramids, most notably the famous Step Pyramid of Djoser. The Serapeum itself is situated within this expansive complex, specifically nestled in the desert sands to the west of the Pyramid of Djoser. This location is significant due to its proximity to these monumental structures, adding to the historical and cultural richness of the area. The discovery of the Serapeum in 1851 is a fascinating story. It was unearthed by the French Egyptologist Auguste Mariette, who originally traveled to Egypt with the intent of collecting Coptic manuscripts for the Louvre. However, he quickly became captivated by the country's ancient monuments. Mariette's discovery of the Serapeum was rather serendipitous. While exploring the area, he noticed the head of a sphinx protruding from the sand. Intrigued, he began excavating and soon uncovered an entire avenue of sphinxes that led to the underground galleries of the Serapeum. The Serapeum of Saqqara stands as an architectural wonder, nestled within the vast Saqqara necropolis, approximately 30 kilometers south of modern-day Cairo. This ancient burial ground is famous for its numerous pyramids, including the renowned Step Pyramid of Djoser. The Serapeum itself is situated in the desert sands to the west of this iconic pyramid. Designed to house the sacred Apis bulls, revered as manifestations of the god Ptah and later Osiris Apis, the Serapeum consists of an extensive network of underground tunnels and burial chambers. Marking the entrance to the Serapeum is a long avenue lined with sphinx statues, similar in style to those found in Luxor's Avenue of Sphinxes. These sphinxes, believed to have been added during the Ptolemaic period, reflect the blend of Greek and Egyptian cultures. Entering the Serapeum, one would pass through what was once a grand entrance secured by massive stone doors, now removed or destroyed. This entrance demonstrates the Egyptians' ability to manipulate large stone blocks with precision. The removal of these doors has left the tunnels exposed to the elements, making conservation efforts crucial for preserving this historic site. The underground galleries of the Serapeum are its most striking and extensive feature. These galleries, arranged in a rectangular layout with side chambers cut into the rock, extend for several hundred meters. Each side chamber was meticulously designed to house a sarcophagus, reflecting the site's importance through its methodical precision. Hewn from solid limestone bedrock, these galleries showcase immense engineering skill, especially considering the limited tools available at the time. Originally lit by oil lamps or torches, the dim lighting within these galleries adds to their mysterious ambience. Among the most impressive aspects of the Serapeum are the massive sarcophagi housed within its chambers. Each sarcophagus, carved from a single block of stone such as granite, basalt or limestone, is a marvel of ancient craftsmanship. Some weigh over 70 tons and measure up to 4 meters in length, raising questions about how these enormous stones were transported and positioned within the narrow confines of the underground chambers. The precision of their craftsmanship, with smooth surfaces and accurate dimensions, is comparable to that seen in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, indicating a continuity of advanced engineering skills over centuries. The walls of the Serapeum are richly adorned with hieroglyphic inscriptions and carvings, detailing the burial rites of the Apis bulls and the religious rituals associated with their worship. These inscriptions also mention the pharaohs who ordered the construction of the galleries and the burial of the bulls, providing valuable historical context. The decorations include depictions of gods and goddesses, scenes of offerings, and symbolic motifs like the Ankh, symbolizing life, and the Jed pillar, symbolizing stability. An interesting comparison can be made between the Serapeum of Saqqara and the catacombs of Rome. Both are extensive underground burial complexes, but while the Serapeum was dedicated to the sacred bulls, the catacombs were used for human burials, primarily by early Christians. The construction and transportation of the massive sarcophagi in the Serapeum have long intrigued historians and archaeologists. Several theories have been proposed to explain these feats. One widely accepted theory is that the ancient Egyptians used a system of ramps to transport the massive stone blocks from quarries to the construction site. These ramps could have been straight, zigzagging, or spiral, depending on the terrain and the specific requirements of the project. Another theory suggests that the stones were moved using wooden rollers and sledges. Workers would place the stone blocks on sledges and drag them over a series of logs, lubricated with water or oil to reduce friction. This method is supported by depictions in ancient Egyptian art, showing workers transporting large statues and blocks in this manner. Some researchers believe that lever and pulley systems might have been used to lift and position the sarcophagi within the underground chambers. Though no direct evidence of such devices has been found, the concept aligns with the known mechanical ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians. The most straightforward explanation involves sheer human labor. Teams of workers, possibly numbering in the hundreds, could have coordinated their efforts to move the stones using ropes, sledges, and manual force. Another fascinating structure near the Serapeum is the Step Pyramid of Djoser, an architectural marvel located in the Saqqara necropolis, about 30 kilometers south of modern-day Cairo. Saqqara served as the burial ground for the ancient city of Memphis, the capital of Egypt during the Old Kingdom. The pyramid stands prominently within this vast necropolis, surrounded by numerous tombs and other pyramids, making it a central feature of the area. The Step Pyramid of Djoser was rediscovered in the 19th century by European explorers. However, it was the French Egyptologist Jean-Philippe Lauer who carried out systematic excavation and study beginning in the 1920s. Lauer's extensive research and restoration efforts over several decades significantly enhanced our understanding of the pyramid's construction and historical significance. This pyramid is notable for being the first colossal stone building in Egypt, marking a significant evolution in pyramid construction. Built during the 3rd dynasty for Pharaoh Djoser by his architect Imhotep, who is often credited as the first known architect in history, the pyramid consists of 6 mastaba-like structures stacked on top of each other, each decreasing in size as they ascend, giving it its distinctive stepped appearance. Originally standing approximately 62 meters tall with a base measuring 109 meters by 121 meters, the pyramid has slightly reduced in height over time due to erosion. The core of the pyramid is made from rough, small limestone blocks, while the outer casing was constructed from fine Tura limestone, which gave the pyramid a smooth, bright appearance. This construction represents a significant technological advancement from earlier mud brick mastabas to large-scale stone architecture. Beneath the pyramid lies a vast labyrinth of tunnels and chambers. The central burial chamber, located at the bottom of a 28-meter shaft, was constructed from granite and intended to house the sarcophagus of Pharaoh Djoser. The underground network includes more than 5.5 kilometers of corridors designed to thwart grave robbers, with many passages decorated with blue faience tiles intended to imitate reed matting. Surrounding the pyramid is a massive limestone enclosure wall that measures 10.5 meters high and encloses an area of about 15 hectares. This wall is punctuated by 14 gates, though only one of them is functional. Within the enclosure there is a large courtyard known as the Heb Sed Court, used for the Heb Sed Festival, a jubilee celebration that renewed the king's reign and powers. Adjacent to the north side of the pyramid is the funerary temple, where rituals and offerings were made to honor the deceased pharaoh. A small sealed chamber called a serdab, located near the pyramid's north face, contains a life-sized statue of Djoser, with 2 small holes through which the statue could see the rituals performed in his honor. The Step Pyramid of Djoser is considered the earliest colossal stone structure in Egypt, and the first pyramid ever built, marking a revolutionary leap in architectural techniques. Imhotep, the architect of the pyramid, was later deified as a god of wisdom and medicine, with his contributions to architecture and medicine highly revered in later periods of Egyptian history. The step pyramid set the precedent for future pyramid construction in Egypt, influencing the design of smooth-sided pyramids like those found at Giza. The Hebsed court within the mortuary complex was used for a festival that renewed the pharaoh's power, celebrated after 30 years of a king's reign and every 3 years thereafter. The extensive subterranean network and the design of the pyramid itself were aimed at protecting the pharaoh's burial and deterring tomb robbers. Over the years, the pyramid and its complex have undergone extensive restoration efforts, particularly in the 20th and 21st centuries, to preserve this ancient monument for future generations. The sands of Egypt's vast desert lies the Saqqara necropolis, a site shrouded in mystery for over 4,600 years. What secrets are hidden within the world's oldest stone pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Djoser, and the labyrinth of underground tombs and tunnels? How did ancient Egyptians, with their rudimentary tools, craft massive granite sarcophagi so precisely that modern engineers still marvel at their skill?
How that was possible by the dynastic people is impossible.
Could this sprawling necropolis, home to some of the earliest known religious texts, hold clues to forgotten technologies or even connections to otherworldly beings? As you delve into the mysteries of Saqqara, prepare to question everything you thought you knew about ancient Egypt. The discovery of the Saqqara necropolis in Egypt, one of the most significant archaeological finds in history, dates back to the early 19th century. While the area had been known to locals for centuries, it was the systematic exploration by European explorers and archaeologists that brought Saqqara to the world's attention. The French engineer and archaeologist Auguste Mariette is often credited with the formal discovery of Saqqara. In 1850, Mariette was sent to Egypt by the Louvre Museum to acquire Coptic manuscripts. However, his attention soon turned to the sands of Saqqara after hearing of a mysterious area littered with ancient statues. Intrigued, Mariette followed up on this lead and eventually unearthed the entrance to the Serapeum, a massive underground complex housing the burial chambers of the sacred Apis bulls. Mariette's discovery of the Serapeum was nothing short of extraordinary. The complex, buried under the sands of Saqqara, had been hidden for centuries. As Mariette and his team began to dig, they uncovered a long subterranean gallery stretching over 400 meters, lined with colossal granite sarcophagi. These sarcophagi, each weighing between 60 to 70 tons, were astonishingly well preserved. The sheer size and precision of these stone coffins baffled Mariette and later archaeologists, as they seemed far too large and heavy to have been moved using the simple tools that were believed to be available to the ancient Egyptians.
They obviously weren't made as tombs for anybody because they're way bigger than a human being.
The discovery of Saqqara unfolded gradually, revealing layers of history and mystery. The Step Pyramid of Djoser, the centerpiece of the necropolis, was identified as the world's oldest stone structure, dating back to around 2630 BCE during the Third Dynasty of the Old Kingdom. This pyramid, designed by the architect Imhotep, was unlike any other known structure at the time. Unlike the smooth-sided pyramids of Giza, Djoser's pyramid was built in 6 stepped layers, reaching a height of 203 feet. The structure was revolutionary, marking a significant evolution from the earlier mud brick mastabas to monumental stone architecture. When Mariette's team entered the burial chambers, they found that the Serapeum was not just a resting place for the bulls, but also held artifacts, inscriptions, and treasures of immense historical value. However, the most mysterious aspect was the apparent lack of human remains.
There's no evidence that there was ever anything inside the boxes in the Serapeum.
Despite being a necropolis, many of the tombs and structures seemed oddly devoid of bodies, leading to speculation about the true purpose of Saqqara. The precise construction techniques used in Saqqara have long been a topic of debate. The ancient Egyptians managed to move massive stone blocks, some weighing as much as 100 tons, with incredible precision. The Serapeum's granite sarcophagi, for instance, are so finely crafted that even modern engineers struggle to understand how they were cut, transported, and placed in the underground chambers.
It's such an astonishing sight, the scale of these boxes, that they were moved hundreds of miles.
These sarcophagi were carved from a single block of granite, sourced from quarries hundreds of miles away in Aswan, and their interiors were polished to a near-perfect finish. The Saqqara necropolis, spanning over 7 kilometers, is a vast and ancient burial ground that served Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt, for more than 3,000 years. Within its expanse lies the step pyramid of Djoser, a monumental structure composed of over 11.5 million cubic feet of stone and clay, rivaling the Great Pyramid of Giza in its sheer volume, despite being nearly 1,000 years older. As one of the oldest stone buildings in the world, the Step Pyramid predates both Stonehenge and the pyramids of Giza. The construction of the Saqqara necropolis, particularly the Step Pyramid, is traditionally attributed to the architect Imhotep, who served under Pharaoh Djoser. Imhotep was a polymath, an architect, physician, and high priest, whose knowledge and skill were so advanced that he was later deified by the Egyptians. Imhotep's design for the Step Pyramid was groundbreaking. It represented a quantum leap from earlier tomb designs, evolving from simple mastabas into a 6-tiered pyramid. This pyramid was not only a tomb, but also a symbol of the pharaoh's divine power. Theories suggest that Imhotep and his team had access to advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering that allowed them to plan and execute such a complex structure. One of the more controversial theories is that extraterrestrial beings may have had a hand in the construction of Saqqara. Proponents of this theory argue that the precision and scale of the Step Pyramid and the Serapeum's sarcophagi could not have been achieved with the technology available at the time. They point to the fact that the sarcophagi in the Serapeum are perfectly squared and polished to a degree that would be difficult even with today's machinery, suggesting that advanced knowledge or tools, possibly of extraterrestrial origin, were used. Additionally, some of the inscriptions and carvings found in Saqqara depict figures that resemble modern-day conceptions of extraterrestrial beings, further fueling speculation about alien involvement. The age of the Saqqara necropolis has been determined through various methods, including radiocarbon dating and the analysis of historical records. The Step Pyramid is believed to have been constructed around 2630 BCE, making it over 4,600 years old. This age was confirmed through inscriptions and the study of pottery and other artifacts found within the complex. One of the enduring mysteries of Saqqara is the presence of incomplete tombs. These tombs, some of which were started but never finished, suggest that something disrupted their construction. There are several theories about what might have caused these sudden abandonments. One theory is that the death of a patron or a pharaoh who commissioned the tomb led to its abandonment, as resources and labor were redirected to the new ruler's projects. Another theory posits that political instability or economic difficulties during certain periods of Egyptian history may have caused the construction of some tombs to be halted. Additionally, natural disasters such as earthquakes or shifts in the Nile's course could have made the area less desirable for burial, leading to the sudden stoppage of work. The Saqqara necropolis is not just a historical site, it is a source of countless mysteries and theories that continue to intrigue researchers and enthusiasts alike. Among these theories are the underground city theory and the alien intervention theory, both of which suggest that Saqqara may hold secrets far beyond what has been uncovered so far. The idea that there is an extensive underground city beneath Saqqara is a theory that has fascinated both archaeologists and conspiracy theorists for years. The Serapeum, with its vast subterranean galleries, is just one part of this theory. Some believe that there are still undiscovered chambers and tunnels beneath the sands of Saqqara, possibly connecting it to other ancient sites in Egypt, such as Giza. Supporters of the underground city theory argue that the complex network of tunnels and chambers that have been discovered so far could be just a small part of a much larger underground metropolis. They point to the sophisticated architecture of the Serapeum and the precision with which it was built as evidence that the ancient Egyptians may have constructed entire underground cities that have yet to be found. This theory is bolstered by occasional discoveries of new tombs and chambers in the Saqqara area, suggesting that much of the necropolis remains unexplored. Some even speculate that the underground city could hold lost knowledge, treasures, or even the remains of a civilization that predates the Egyptians. The Saqqara necropolis is not isolated in its significance. Several other nearby discoveries have added to the mystery and intrigue of the area. One such discovery is the Pyramid of Unas, located near Saqqara. Inside this pyramid, archaeologists found the pyramid texts, the oldest known religious texts in the world. These texts are inscribed on the walls of the burial chamber and provide insight into the ancient Egyptian beliefs about the afterlife and the divine. Another significant discovery is the mastaba of tea, one of the most elaborately decorated tombs at Saqqara. The tomb contains intricate carvings and reliefs depicting daily life in ancient Egypt, as well as scenes of religious significance. The quality and detail of these carvings suggest that the artisans of Saqqara were highly skilled and that the necropolis was an important cultural center. These nearby discoveries, along with the mysteries of Saqqara itself, have led some to speculate that the area may have been a center of advanced knowledge or even a place where ancient Egyptians made contact with otherworldly beings.
Beneath the shifting sands of Saqqara, a necropolis that served the ancient capital of Memphis, lies a hidden world, a testament to a civilization that grappled with the mysteries of life, death, and the cosmos. This is the Serapeum, not merely a tomb, but a labyrinthine complex whose purpose continues to elude the grasp of conventional understanding. Discovered in 1850 by Auguste Mariette, a man who dedicated his life to unraveling the secrets of Egypt, the Serapeum presented a riddle that echoes through the centuries, challenging our very perception of the ancient world. Mariette, a figure steeped in the lore of Egypt, initially believed he had found the burial place of the Apis bulls, sacred animals worshipped as manifestations of the god Ptah, later syncretized with Osiris as Serapis. He meticulously documented his findings, describing a long, vaulted corridor lined with chambers. Within these chambers he found them, 24 colossal granite boxes, each a monolith weighing upwards of 70 tons. These were not the rough-hewn sarcophagi of lesser burials, but masterpieces of precision engineering, their surfaces polished to a mirror sheen, their angle, their lids fitting so perfectly that a razor blade could scarcely penetrate the seam. The sheer scale of these boxes is staggering. Consider that they were quarried at Aswan, hundreds of miles up the Nile, transported to Saqqara, and then maneuvered into these underground chambers. How did a civilization, supposedly limited to copper tools and brute force, accomplish such a feat? Even with modern technology, moving and positioning these behemoths would be a formidable challenge. This alone should give us pause, should force us to question the simplistic narratives often presented about ancient Egyptian capabilities. But the mystery deepens when we examine the material itself: granite. Granite, a stone composed primarily of quartz, feldspar, and mica. Now, quartz, as any physicist will tell you, possesses a remarkable property: piezoelectricity. This phenomenon, first discovered by the Curie brothers in 1880, demonstrates that certain crystalline materials, like quartz, generate an electrical charge when subjected to mechanical stress, such as pressure or vibration. Conversely, when an electrical current is applied, they vibrate at a specific frequency. This is not some arcane secret. It's the fundamental principle behind a plethora of modern devices, from the humble quartz watch to sophisticated sonar systems used in underwater navigation. Investigative mythologist William Henry, a man who has traversed the globe in pursuit of ancient mysteries, recounts a personal experience that vividly illustrates this principle. While exploring Egypt, he encountered a towering granite obelisk, similar to those that once stood sentinel before ancient temples. Intrigued by its sheer size and the stories surrounding it, Henry struck the obelisk with his fist. And in response, the entire structure began to hum, a deep, resonant vibration that he could feel in his very bones. This was not a trick of the mind. It was a tangible demonstration of the piezoelectric effect in action. Now imagine those colossal granite boxes within the Serapeum. Were they too designed to exploit this very property? Were they, in essence, colossal acoustic resonators tuned to frequencies we can barely comprehend? Could the ancient Egyptians, with their profound understanding of geometry and mathematics, have mastered the art of manipulating sound and vibration in ways that elude our modern comprehension? Enter Christopher Dunn, an engineer who, in his seminal work, The Giza Power Plant, dared to apply the rigorous principles of his profession to the study of ancient Egyptian structures. He meticulously measured the Serapeum boxes, analyzing their dimensions, their internal volumes, the angles of their walls. His findings are nothing short of revolutionary. These were not haphazardly constructed containers, but precision instruments. Their proportions, their internal geometries, all suggest a deliberate design, one that strongly indicates these boxes were intended to resonate at specific harmonic frequencies, much like a finely crafted musical instrument. Dunn's work suggests a level of technological sophistication that is simply absent from the conventional narrative of ancient Egyptian civilization. Let's venture further, beyond the confines of physical engineering and into the realm of consciousness itself. Ancient cultures, spanning the globe, held a deep understanding of the power of sound to alter mental states. The Vedic traditions of India, with their intricate system of mantras and ragas, recognized the ability of specific sound vibrations to induce profound meditative states, to open the doors of perception to other realms of reality. Similarly, shamanic cultures, from the Americas to Siberia, employed rhythmic drumming, chanting, and the use of psychoactive plants to facilitate journeys into the spirit world. Could specific frequencies, generated within the resonant chambers of the Serapeum, have served a similar purpose? Could they have induced altered states of awareness, facilitating out-of-body experiences, allowing the initiated to transcend the limitations of the physical body and commune with other dimensions? The air within the Serapeum is thick with anecdotal accounts of strange phenomena. Visitors have reported experiencing heightened sensations, vivid dreams, even psychic experiences. Dr. Robert Schoch, a geologist and researcher who has extensively studied ancient sites, documents several such accounts in his book, Pyramid Quest. He recounts stories of individuals feeling a palpable energy within the chambers, of experiencing visions and receiving messages from unseen entities. Are these mere subjective experiences, easily dismissed as flights of fancy? Or do they hint at a deeper truth, that the Serapeum was deliberately designed to unlock latent potentials within the human mind, potentials that our modern scientifically oriented worldview has largely ignored or suppressed? To understand the possible function of the Serapeum, we must also consider the religious and cosmological context of ancient Egypt. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and incantations inscribed on tomb walls and papyri, provides a fascinating glimpse into their beliefs about the afterlife. These texts describe elaborate rituals designed to guide the deceased's soul on its journey through the underworld, a journey that often involved a profound transformation of consciousness, a journey that was perceived as a celestial voyage. The Egyptians believed in the concept of the Ka, a spiritual double that survived the death of the physical body. The Ka required sustenance and was believed to be able to travel between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. The rituals described in the Book of the Dead were intended to ensure the Ka's safe passage and its eventual union with the Ba, the individual's personality or soul, to form the Akh, a glorified spirit that could dwell among the stars. Could the Serapeum have played a role in this process of spiritual transformation? The Serapeum is inextricably linked to the cult of the Apis bull, a sacred animal that held a prominent place in the Egyptian pantheon. The Apis bull was considered a manifestation of the god Ptah, the creator god of Memphis, and later became associated with Osiris, the god of the underworld, forming the composite deity Serapis. These bulls were carefully selected based on specific markings and were believed to be incarnations of the divine. Greek historians, such as Herodotus in the 5th century BCE and Diodorus Siculus in the 1st century BCE, record a peculiar belief surrounding the Apis bulls. They state that these sacred animals were conceived by flashes of light or beams of energy emanating from the moon. They were associated with lightning, a phenomenon often interpreted as a manifestation of divine power or intervention. Could the Apis bull represent not just a sacred animal, but a symbol of this transformative energy, a conduit to other realms, other dimensions? Was the Serapeum, in a sense, a stargate, a portal to the cosmos, hidden in plain sight, its secrets encoded in stone, in sound, and in the very fabric of ancient Egyptian belief? The answers, like the echoes of a forgotten technology, still resonate within those subterranean chambers. They beckon us to re-evaluate our understanding of history, to challenge the limitations of our current scientific paradigm, and to consider the possibility that our ancestors possessed a knowledge far more profound, far more advanced than we ever dared to imagine. The Serapeum stands as a monument to a past that refuses to be silenced, a past that whispers of a future yet to be rediscovered. Sitting along the western banks of the Nile, just a short distance from Cairo, Saqqara is most famous for being the burial ground of the ancient Egyptian city of Memphis, which was once the capital of the Old Kingdom. It is perhaps best known for the step pyramid of Djoser, the world's first monumental stone structure, but the site is far more than just one iconic pyramid. It is a sprawling, multi-layered necropolis filled with tombs, burial shafts, and hidden chambers that have, until recently, remained largely unexplored. But in 2018, the site became the focal point of an archaeological breakthrough. Beneath the sands of Saqqara, a hidden tomb was discovered, a tomb that promised to shine a light on Egypt's ancient past like never before. In 2018, Egyptian archaeologists unearthed a series of mysterious burial shafts in the vicinity of the Step Pyramid. The discovery? More than 30 sealed wooden coffins, many still intact, some dating back more than 20,500 years. This find was monumental, but it was just the beginning. What seemed to be an ordinary tomb turned out to be the tip of the iceberg, a hidden world beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. These coffins belonged to high-ranking officials, priests, and nobles who had lived during the 26th dynasty, a period often overshadowed by earlier, more famous eras of Egyptian history. But there was something even more astonishing about these coffins. Many were adorned with vivid colors and intricate carvings, their interiors still well preserved, offering a glimpse into a time long past. One of the most shocking elements of this discovery is the realization that these were not just simple tombs. These coffins were meticulously designed with symbols that seemed to speak of something greater, a connection to the gods perhaps, or a secret knowledge passed down through generations. The ornate decorations are not merely artistic, they contain clues about the religious beliefs, practices, and societal structures that governed the lives of Egypt's elite. The fact that these coffins, some of which were sealed for thousands of years, are still so well preserved challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient embalming techniques and the climate in which they were buried. As the excavations continued, even more startling discoveries followed. In 2020, archaeologists revealed that beneath Saqqara, hidden deep within the tombs and burial shafts, was a network of secret chambers previously unknown to anyone. These chambers are thought to have been used for a variety of purposes, perhaps as burial sites for Egypt's nobility or as sanctuaries for important religious ceremonies. But the exact purpose of these chambers remains shrouded in mystery. What was their function? And why were they hidden for so long, beneath layers of rock and sand, untouched for millennia? Adding to the intrigue, experts have uncovered evidence that suggests these chambers may have been part of a far larger complex, perhaps one that extended beneath the Step Pyramid itself. Some speculate that Saqqara was not just a burial site, but a key religious center in the ancient world, one whose influence spread far beyond Memphis. Could it be that beneath this necropolis, a lost city or even an entire forgotten civilization exists? The possibilities are mind-boggling, and the mystery deepens with every new discovery. In 2021, a new breakthrough gave the world an even deeper glimpse into Saqqara's hidden history. Archaeologists uncovered a massive, previously unknown tomb belonging to a high-ranking priest named Wahi. The tomb, which dates back to around 2,400 years ago, is one of the most complete and best-preserved tombs ever found in Egypt. Inside, the walls are adorned with stunning hieroglyphs and paintings that depict the priest's life, his connection to the gods, and his role within the complex social and religious structure of ancient Egypt. This discovery, like the others, raised more questions than answers. Why was such a significant tomb so hidden for so long? And what does this tell us about the role of religion and the afterlife in Egyptian society? But it isn't just the tombs that hold secrets. Recently, researchers have begun to probe the very foundations of Saqqara itself, using modern technology such as ground-penetrating radar to scan the area for hidden chambers and structures. What they've found is nothing short of astounding. Beneath the surface of Saqqara, there seems to be an intricate network of tunnels, chambers, and possibly even entire cities, some of which could date back to the earliest periods of Egyptian civilization. The sheer scale of what lies beneath is staggering. Could it be that Saqqara was not just a burial ground, but also a hub of political power? A place where secrets were kept safe from the prying eyes of the outside world? Or was it a key location in the ancient struggle for dominance over the Nile Delta? Saqqara is more than just a necropolis. It's a time capsule, holding the secrets of ancient Egypt, waiting to be unlocked. With each new discovery, we move closer to understanding the civilization in ways we never imagined. Beneath Saqqara's sands lies a history that could rewrite everything we know about ancient Egypt. As excavation continues, the mysteries of this enigmatic site are gradually revealed, secrets that might even change our understanding of civilization itself. But as we delve deeper, one question remains. What other hidden truths lie beneath Saqqara? Recently, scientists uncovered something chilling, so unexpected that it left even the experts stunned. In our next investigation, we reveal what they found and why it may reshape our view of ancient Egypt.